Ladies, let's talk about something real, something raw, something that hits you like a meteor crashing into the atmosphere. Love, it's beautiful, it's messy, it's the fuel that can propel you to the stars or burn you down to ashes. When someone you care about hurts you, when they pull away, go silent, or leave you questioning your worth, it feels like a rocket launch gone wrong. The countdown hits zero, the engines ignite, and then boom, something explodes, and you're left staring at the wreckage wondering what the hell just happened. But here's the truth, the kind of truth that's driven every breakthrough I've ever chased, from Tesla's first electric car to SpaceX's reusable rockets. Failure isn't the end. It's data. It's a signal. It's the universe telling you to recalibrate, rethink, and relaunch. And right now, if you're standing in the rubble of a broken heart, you're not done. You're just getting started. Love at its core is a mission. It's not some soft, fluffy thing. It's a bold, audacious, high stakes endeavor, like colonizing Mars or wiring the human brain to the cosmos. When you pour your heart into someone, you're not just giving them your time or your affection. You're investing in a vision, a future, a possibility that's bigger than you. And when that vision crashes, when they walk away, when they go cold, when they make you feel like you're not enough, it's not just personal, it's cosmic. It shakes the foundations of your world. You feel the ground give way, like you're floating in zero gravity, grasping for something to hold on to. I get it. I've been there, not just in love, but in every mission I've ever taken on. Every time a rocket exploded on the pad, every time a critic said Tesla would fail, every time the world told me my dreams were too big, I felt that same gut punch. But here's what I learned, and what I want you to hear loud and clear. The storm isn't here to destroy you, it's here to forge you. Think about it. When SpaceX's first three Falcon 1 launches failed, I didn't walk away. I didn't curl up and say, well, I guess space isn't for me. I looked at the data, I studied the wreckage, I figured out what went wrong, and I built something better. That's what you're going to do with this heartbreak. You're not going to let it define you. You're not going to let it ground your mission. You're going to treat it like a launch failure, painful, yes, but packed with lessons that will get you closer to your destination. Because, ladies, your destination isn't just about love, it's about you. It's about becoming the kind of woman who doesn't just survive the storm, but uses it to fuel her ascent to the stars. Let's get real for a second. When someone hurts you, when they go silent or pull back, it's easy to spiral. You check your phone 100 times a day, waiting for a text that never comes. You replay every conversation, every glance, every moment, trying to figure out where you messed up. You wonder if you're not pretty enough, not smart enough, not enough. I know that feeling. It's like staring at a telemetry report after a failed launch, searching for the one variable that caused the explosion. But here's the trap. The more you obsess, the more you analyze, the more you chase their validation, the further you drift from your own orbit. You're not a satellite orbiting someone else's planet. You're a damn star, and it's time you started acting like one. This is where most people get it wrong. They think love is about holding on, about fighting for someone who's slipping away. But love isn't a tug of war, it's a mission, and every mission needs a clear objective. Right now, your objective isn't to win them back, it's not to prove your worth to someone who can't see it. Your objective is to reclaim your power, to rebuild your rocket, to set your sights on a future so big, so bold that it makes their absence feel like a minor glitch in the system. When I lost millions on early Tesla prototypes, when the world laughed at the idea of reusable rockets, I didn't beg for their approval. I doubled down on my vision. I worked harder. I built something they couldn't ignore. That's what you're going to do. Let's talk about the emotional storm. It's real, it's heavy, it's like trying to navigate a spaceship through an asteroid field. Your heart's racing, your mind's spinning, and every instinct tells you to react, to send that text, to make that call, to demand answers. But reacting is what they expect. It's what keeps you tethered to their gravity. When someone pulls away, when they go cold, they're not just testing you, they're testing your resolve. They're waiting to see if you'll crumble, if you'll chase, if you'll let their absence define your worth. And the moment you give in, the moment you send that desperate message or try to fix things, you hand them the controls, you let them steer your mission. That's not who you are. You're not a passenger. You're the pilot. This is where the Musk mindset comes in. When the world told me electric cars were a pipe dream, I didn't argue. I didn't plead. I built the Roadster. When they said reusable rockets were impossible, I didn't waste my breath. I launched Falcon 9 and brought it back to Earth. When someone hurts you, when they try to dim your light, you don't beg them to see your value. You show them. You build something so undeniable, so extraordinary, that they can't help but notice. And the first step to doing that is refusing to play their game. You don't chase, you don't react, you don't let their silence pull you into a black hole. You stay focused on your mission. Here's the thing about heartbreak, it's not just pain, it's potential. It's raw energy, like the fuel in a rocket's thrusters. You can let it burn you up, or you can harness it to propel you forward. Every time I've faced a setback, whether it's a failed launch, a near bankruptcy, or a personal loss, I've asked myself one question: what can I build from this? Not why did this happen? Not what did I do wrong, but what can I build? That's the question I want you to ask yourself right now. That person who hurt you, who made you feel small, who left you questioning your worth, they're not the end of your story. They're just a chapter. And this chapter, this moment, is where you decide to take the controls. Imagine this. You're standing at mission control, staring at the screens, and the data's coming in hot. Your heart's telling you one thing: chase, fix, plead. But your mind, your logic, your inner engineer, it's telling you something else. It's saying, hold steady, don't react, analyze the data. That's what I did when Tesla was on the brink. Everyone said we were done. Investors pulled out. The press wrote our obituary. But I didn't panic. I looked at the numbers, I looked at the vision, and I kept going. You're going to do the same. You're going to look at this heartbreak, this pain, and you're going to see it for what it is: a chance to rebuild, a chance to redesign, a chance to launch something better than you ever imagined. Um, Ladies, this is your moment. This is your launch pad. The person who hurt you, they're not your mission, they're not your destination, they're just a blip on the radar, a variable in the equation. Your mission is you. Your destination is a life so bold, so unapologetic, so damn extraordinary that it redefines what's possible. When I started SpaceX, people laughed. They said colonizing Mars was science fiction. But I didn't care about their doubts. I cared about the vision. I cared about what could be. And right now, I want you to care about what you can be. Not the version of you that's tied to someone else's approval, not the version of you that's waiting for a text or a call, the version of you that's ready to break free from Earth's gravity and head for the stars. So, what's the first step? Stop looking at the wreckage. Stop staring at the explosion. Stop asking why they hurt you, why they pulled away, why they couldn't see your worth. Those questions are anchors, and you don't have time for anchors when you're building a rocket. Instead, start asking, what's next? What's the next version of you? What's the next mission? When I lost those first 3 Falcon 1 rockets, I didn't dwell on the flames. I got back to the drawing board. I redesigned, I relaunched. And when we finally got Falcon 1 into orbit, it wasn't just a win for SpaceX. It was proof that failure is just a step on the path to something bigger. You're not here to stay grounded. You're not here to orbit someone else's world. You're here to build your own. And the first step is to embrace the storm, to feel the pain, to let it wash over you like a wave, and then to stand up and say, I'm still here. You're not broken. You're not defeated. You're a force of nature, a woman with a mission, a star with a universe to conquer. This heartbreak, it's not the end of your story. It's the spark that ignites your next launch. So, buckle up, ladies. The countdown started. Your mission is calling, and the universe, it's waiting for you to show it what you're made of. Ladies, let's shift gears. You've faced the storm, you've stared down the wreckage of a heartbreak that tried to knock you off course. Now it's time to take the controls in a way that rewrites the rules of the game. This isn't about reacting to the chaos or chasing someone who's drifting out of your orbit. It's about something far more powerful, far more strategic, something I've used to turn skeptics into believers and critics into partners. It's silence. Not the kind of silence that comes from weakness or surrender, but the kind that's calculated, deliberate, and as precise as a neural network guiding a rocket to Mars. Silence is your superpower, your secret code to flipping the script and commanding the mission of your life. Picture this: you're at the helm of a Tesla factory, watching every machine hum with precision, every worker aligned to a single goal, building something revolutionary. That's what silence does for you. It's not passivity, it's precision. When someone hurts you, when they pull back, go cold, or leave you hanging, their move is calculated. They're not just ignoring you, they're testing you. They're watching to see if you'll crack, if you'll send that text, make that call, or beg for their attention. They're expecting you to chase, to fill the void they've left with your desperation. And the moment you do, you hand them the keys to your rocket. You let them steer your mission. But here's where you change the game, ladies. You don't chase, you don't react. You go silent, and you let the universe do the talking. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's a statement. It's a signal that you're not playing by their rules anymore. When I launched Neuralink, the world didn't get it. They called it sci-fi nonsense, a pipe dream about connecting brains to computers. Did I argue? Did I flood the internet with explanations, trying to win their approval? Number, I went silent. I let the work speak. I let the results shut them up. And when Neuralink started hitting milestones, when we showed the world what was possible, the doubters came running. That's what silence does in your world, too. When someone pulls away, when they try to dim your light, your silence isn't weakness, it's a power move. It's you saying, I don't need your validation to keep building my empire. Let's break it down. When they go quiet, when they stop texting, when they start posting pictures of their perfect life without you, it's not random, it's a test. They're waiting for you to flinch, to show them they still hold the controls. They want to see you double text, overanalyze, or ask, what's wrong? Because that's the moment they know they've got you. That's the moment they know they can keep you in their orbit without ever committing to yours. But when you choose silence, you disrupt their system. You're not just refusing to play, you're rewriting the code. You're telling them, my mission doesn't depend on you. And that, ladies, is when the tables turn. Think about how I handled Tesla's early days. The auto industry laughed. They said electric cars were a fad, that we'd never compete with gas guzzlers. I didn't waste my energy arguing. I didn't try to convince them. I went quiet, focused on the mission, and built the Mo1Do S, a car that didn't just compete but changed the game. When someone hurts you, when they try to make you feel small, your silence is your Mo1Do S. It's the thing that makes them question everything they expect you to chase, to beg, to prove you're still there. But when you don't, when you stay silent, you plant a seed of doubt in their mind. Did I misjudge her? Is she moving on? Did I just lose someone who is light years ahead of me? This doubt is your ally. It's the gravity that pulls them back into your orbit, not because you chased them, but because you didn't. Doubt is what makes them check their phone, wondering why you haven't texted. Doubt is what makes them scroll through your social media, looking for signs you still care. Doubt is what makes them question their own worth, their own choices, their own control. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to say a word. You just keep building, keep focusing, keep steering your rocket toward the stars. Your silence does the work for you. But let's be clear, this isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. This is about protecting your mission. When I'm working on a project like Starlink, I don't let distractions pull me off course. I don't let naysayers dictate my next move. I stay focused on the goal, connecting the world, pushing humanity forward. Your life is your Starlink. Your heart is your mission control. And when someone tries to derail you with their games, their silence, their tests, you don't let them in. You lock the doors, you focus on the screens, and you keep your eyes on the stars. Silence is how you protect your vision. It's how you keep your power. Now, here's where it gets tricky. They'll test you harder. When your silence starts to sink in, when they realize you're not chasing, they'll throw out bait, a text that says, hey, how's it going? A like on an old post. A story that's clearly meant to get your attention. It's subtle, it's calculated, and it's designed to pull you back in. But here's where you channel the Musk mindset. When critics tried to bait me into defending SpaceX's early failures, I didn't bite. I kept my eyes on the mission. You're going to do the same. You're not going to reply to that text. You're not going to like their post. You're not going to give them the reaction they're fishing for. Because the moment you do, you're back in their orbit playing by their rules. Instead, you stay silent. You let them sit with the uncertainty. You let them wonder what you're doing, who you're becoming, what kind of empire you're building without them. And trust me, ladies, that uncertainty is a force more powerful than any rocket I've ever launched. It's the force that makes them question everything they thought they knew about you. It's the force that makes them realize you're not just another satellite in their sky, you're a whole damn galaxy. And when they start to feel that, when they start to see the scale of what they've lost, that's when the real shift happens. But here's the kicker. This isn't about them, it's about you. Silence isn't just a strategy to make them doubt, it's a strategy to make you stronger. Every time you choose not to react, every time you resist the urge to chase, you're rewiring your brain. You're training yourself to value your own mission above anyone else's process. You're building the kind of resilience that got me through Tesla's darkest days when we were burning through $4 million a month with no guarantee of survival. I didn't give up then, and you're not giving up now. You're choosing to invest in yourself, to focus on your goals, to build a life that's so big, so bold, it makes their absence feel like a speck of dust in the cosmos. Ladies, Silence is your launch pad. It's the moment you take back control, not just of the relationship, but of your entire trajectory. It's the moment you stop being a passenger and start being the pilot. When I founded SpaceX, I didn't ask for permission to dream big. I didn't wait for the world to tell me it was possible. I just did it. And right now, I'm telling you to do the same. Don't wait for their approval. Don't wait for their text. Don't wait for them to see your worth. Go silent, go bold, and go build something they can't ignore. Because when you do, you're not just healing from heartbreak, you're launching a revolution. And the universe, it's watching, ready for you to show it what you've got. Ladies, you've faced the storm of heartbreak, you've mastered the art of silence, and now you're standing at a pivotal moment in your mission. This is where the trajectory shifts, where the game changes, where you stop being a footnote in someone else's story and become the star of your own galaxy. When you choose silence over chasing, when you refuse to let their absence dim your light, something extraordinary happens. Doubt creeps into their mind, not yours, theirs. That doubt is your fuel, your rocket propellant, the energy that powers your ascent to heights they never imagined you could reach. This isn't about revenge or proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you're a force of nature, a woman who doesn't just survive heartbreak but uses it to launch something unstoppable. Let's talk about how to harness that doubt, how to let it work for you, and how to make sure they see you as the star you've always been. Imagine you're in the control room of a SpaceX launch, watching the telemetry data stream in. You've gone silent, you've held your ground, and now the sensors are picking up something new. The person who hurt you, who pulled away, who thought they could keep you in their orbit without effort, they're starting to waver. They expected you to chase, to beg, to fill the void they left with your attention, but you didn't. You stayed steady, focused on your mission, building your own path. And now their confidence is cracking. They're wondering, did I misjudge her? Is she really moving on? Did I just let a star slip through my fingers? That's doubt, ladies, and it's more powerful than any engine I've ever built. It's the force that shifts the balance, that makes them question everything, that turns you from a fleeting thought into an obsession they can't shake. This is what I've learned from pushing the boundaries of what's possible. When I started Tesla, the auto giants didn't take us seriously. They thought we were a blip, a startup that would burn out in a year. But when we delivered the Mo 1 DOS, when we showed the world what electric cars could do, their smug certainty turned to doubt. They started scrambling, rethinking their strategies, trying to catch up. That's what's happening now in your world. When you don't react, when you don't chase, when you keep building your life with the same relentless focus I put into landing rockets, the person who hurt you starts to feel the weight of their choices. They start to see you differently, not as someone they can control, but as someone they can't afford to lose. Let's get specific. When you go silent, when you stop giving them the attention they expect, their mind starts to spiral. They check your social media not just once, but obsessively. They're looking for clues, for signs of what you're doing, who you're with, how you're thriving without them. They might not like your posts, but they're watching. They might not text, but they're thinking. They're replaying the last time you talked, wondering where they lost their grip. This is the power of doubt. It's not loud or dramatic, it's subtle, creeping like the hum of a Tesla battery charging up for a long drive. And the longer you stay silent, the deeper that doubt cuts. It's like watching a competitor realize they underestimated you, like when Boeing saw SpaceX land a Falcon 9 and knew the game had changed. But here's the key. This isn't about them. It's about you. Their doubt is just a byproduct, a signal that your mission is on track. When I built Starlink, I didn't do it to make competitors nervous. I did it to connect the world, to push humanity forward. Your silence, your focus, your refusal to chase it's not about making them regret their choices. It's about making you unstoppable. Every moment you spend not reacting, not chasing, not begging for their validation is a moment you're investing in your own empire. You're hitting the gym, chasing your goals, building a life that's so bold, so vibrant, it makes their absence feel like a distant memory. You're not just a woman healing from heartbreak, you're a pioneer, a trailblazer, a force rewriting the rules of what's possible. Now, let's talk about what happens when their doubt starts to show. They'll test you, ladies, and you need to be ready. They'll throw out signals subtle at first, like a satellite pinging a weak signal to see if you're still in range. A casual text, hey, just checking in. A like on a post from months ago. A story that's clearly meant to catch your eye. These aren't apologies, they're not declarations of regret. They're probes, tests to see if you're still within their reach. And this is where most people falter. They see that text and they think, this is it, they're coming back. They reply in seconds, they engage, they let their guard down, And just like that, the doubt you planted vanishes. They know they still have you, and they go back to their old ways, leaving you right where you started. But you're not most people. You're a woman with a mission, a vision, a rocket to launch. You don't fall for the bait. You don't reply to that text. You don't engage with their games. You keep your eyes on the stars because you know something they don't. Their tests are a sign of weakness, not strength. When I faced critics who doubted Neuralink, I didn't waste time responding to their jabs. I let the results speak, working prototypes, real progress, undeniable proof. You're going to do the same. Your silence is your prototype, your proof, your undeniable evidence that you're not the same woman they underestimated. And every time you resist their tests, every time you stay focused on your mission, you're building something they can't ignore. Here's the beauty of this moment. Their doubt isn't just about them losing control, it's about you gaining it. Every time they wonder about you, every time they check your profile or second guess their choices, you're taking up space in their mind. You're becoming the star they can't stop orbiting. But you don't need their orbit anymore. You're building your own galaxy, one where you set the rules, where you decide what matters, where you're the center of gravity. This is what I did when I pushed through Tesla's darkest days. The world doubted us, but I didn't let their skepticism define me. I built a car that redefined an industry. You're going to build a life that redefines you. And let's be clear, this isn't about waiting for them to come back. It's not about hoping they'll see your worth. It's about knowing your worth so deeply, so unshakably, that their doubt becomes irrelevant. When I launched the first Tesla Roadster, I didn't care if the auto giants apologized. I cared about proving what was possible. When you stay silent, when you keep building, you're not waiting for their validation. You're proving to yourself that you don't need it. You're proving that you're a star, not because they see it, but because you know it. And that knowledge, that certainty, is what makes you unstoppable. So, ladies, let their doubt be your fuel. Let it power your engines, light up your path, propel you toward a future so bold it makes their absence feel like a speck in the cosmos. You're not here to chase someone who couldn't see your light. You're here to shine so brightly that they can't look away. When I sent Starship into orbit, I didn't do it for the critics, I did it for the mission, for the dream of a multiplanetary future. Your mission is your life, your heart, your future. And every moment you stay focused, every moment you let their doubt fuel your ascent, you're getting closer to a version of yourself that's untouchable, unstoppable, and undeniably stellar. Keep your eyes on the stars, ladies. The universe is yours to conquer. Ladies, you faced the storm, mastered the power of silence, and turn their doubt into fuel for your ascent. Now, we're at the heart of your mission, the moment where you stop merely surviving and start creating something extraordinary. This isn't about patching up the pieces of a broken heart or waiting for someone to see your worth. This is about redefining who you are, about building an empire so bold, so unapologetic, that it rewrites the story of your life. Think of this as your Tesla factory, your SpaceX launch pad, your Neuralink lava place where you take raw potential and turn it into something that changes the game. Heartbreak isn't your defeat, it's your raw material. And right now, you're going to use it to construct a version of yourself that's light years ahead of where you started. Let's set the stage. When someone hurts you, when they walk away or make you feel small, it's easy to get stuck in the wreckage, to keep staring at the past, wondering what you could have done differently. But that's not how you build a rocket. That's not how I turned Tesla from a near bankrupt startup into a $1 trillion force. When we were bleeding cash, when every expert said electric cars were a pipe dream, I didn't sit around replaying the failures. I got to work. I redesigned the system, retooled the factory, and built something the world couldn't ignore. You're going to do the Salmonaut for them, not to prove a point, but for you. Because the greatest mission you'll ever undertake isn't about love or relationships. It's about becoming the woman you were always meant to be. This is where you shift your focus. The person who hurt you, they're not the center of your universe anymore. They're a distant planet fading in your rearview mirror as you accelerate towards something bigger. Your energy, your time, your passion, they're not for chasing someone who couldn't see your light. They're for building your empire. Think about what that means for you. Maybe it's hitting the gym, sculpting a body that makes you feel unstoppable. Maybe it's diving into your career, launching that project you've been dreaming about, or starting a business that's as bold as a Mars colony. Maybe it's rediscovering your passions, painting, writing, coding, exploring whatever sets your soul on fire. This is your factory floor, and every choice you make now is a piece of the machine you're building. Let's talk about what this looks like in practice. When I was pushing SpaceX through its early days, we didn't have the luxury of dwelling on setbacks. Every failure was a chance to iterate, to improve, to get closer to orbit. After our third Falcon 1 crash, I didn't waste time asking why it happened. I asked, how do we make the next one better? That's your mindset now. Heartbreak is your crash, your moment of impact. Instead of asking, why did they leave? Or what did I do wrong? Ask, how do I make the next version of me better? Start small if you need to. Set a goal run a mile, read a book, learn a new skill, then build on it. Stack those wins like I stacked milestones at Tesla, from the Roadster to the Mo 1, Do 3 to a global charging network. Every step you take is a brick in your empire, a testament to your strength. This isn't just about personal growth, it's about transformation. It's about taking the raw energy of your pain and channeling it into something tangible, something undeniable. When I founded Neuralink, the goal wasn't just to tinker with brain-computer interfaces. It was to redefine what it means to be human, to push the boundaries of what's possible. Your empire is the same. It's not about patching up the old you, it's about creating a new one. A woman who walks into a room and commands it, not because someone else says she's enough, but because she knows it. A woman who sets goals so big they scare her, then chases them with the same relentless drive I put into landing a rocket on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean. Now, let's address the noise. Because as you build, the world will try to distract you. Friends might tell you to get back out there too soon. Social media will tempt you to check on the person who hurt you to see if they're watching your glow up. And sometimes your own mind will try to pull you back, whispering that you're not ready, not worthy, not strong enough. Um, I've heard that noise my whole life. When I started SpaceX, people said I was crazy to think I could compete with NASA. When Tesla was on the brink, they said I'd never make it, but I didn't listen. I tuned out the noise and kept building. You're going to do the same. Block their number if you have to, unfollow them. Fill your feed with inspiration women who've built empires, creators who've changed the game, ideas that spark your fire. Surround yourself with signals that push you forward, not ones that pull you back. Here's the thing, building your empire isn't just about you, it's about the impact you'll have. When I launched Starlink, it wasn't just about satellites. It was about connecting people, giving them access to knowledge, opportunity, the world. Your empire does the same. Every step you take, every workout, every project, every moment you choose yourselves sends a signal to the universe. It inspires the women around you, the ones watching you rise. It shows your friends, your family, even strangers what's possible when you refuse to stay grounded. And yes, it shows the person who hurt you that they underestimated a force of nature, not because you're trying to prove them wrong, but because you're too busy proving yourself right. Let's talk about momentum. When you start building, something magical happens. It's like the flywheel in a Tesla engine once. It starts spinning, it's hard to stop. That first mile you run turns into a 5K. That one chapter you write turns into a book. That small project at work turns into a promotion, a new role, a legacy. I saw this with SpaceX. After we got Falcon 1 into orbit, the momentum carried us to Falcon 9, then Starship, then Dreams of Mars. Your empire works the same way. Every small win builds on the last, creating a feedback loop that makes you stronger, bolder, more unstoppable with every turn. And the best part? The person who hurt you becomes irrelevant. Their absence, their silence, their games, they fade into the background as your empire takes shape. But this isn't easy. Building an empire never is. There were nights at Tesla when I slept on the factory floor, when I thought we'd never make it. There were moments at SpaceX when I wondered if we'd ever get off the ground. You'll have those moments two nights when the pain creeps back, when you doubt yourself, when you wonder if it's worth it. Here's what I want you to remember. Every empire starts with a single brick. Every rocket starts with a single bolt. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Take one step, then another, then another. Build your empire one choice at a time, one goal at a time, one dream at a time. Because when you do, you're not just healing, you're creating a legacy. Ladies, this is your moment to redefine yourself. You're not the woman who was hurt, who was left, who was made to feel small. You're the architect of your own destiny, the engineer of your own empire, the pilot of your own rocket. When I look at the stars, I don't see limits, I see possibilities. When you look at your life, I want you to see the same. Build something so big, so bold, so undeniably you, that the person who hurt you becomes a footnote in your story. Your empire isn't just about surviving heartbreak, it's about thriving in a way that changes the world. So get to work, ladies. Your factory is waiting, your rocket is ready, and your empire is calling. Build it. Ladies, you've navigated the storm, harnessed the power of silence, turned their doubt into fuel, and started building an empire that's unmistakably yours. Now, we're at the final frontier, the moment where you don't just heal, you transcend. This is where you become more than a survivor of heartbreak, more than a woman who overcame pain. This is where you become a pioneer, a trailblazer, a force so unstoppable that the universe itself takes notice. Think of this as your Starship launch, your Neuralink breakthrough, your Tesla revolution. You're not just rebuilding yourself, you're redefining what it means to be you. This isn't about getting over someone who hurt you, it's about becoming so powerful, so self assured, so untouchable that their absence becomes irrelevant and your presence becomes legendary. Let's talk about how to step into your destiny and claim the stars. This moment is about one thing: owning your power. Not the kind of power that comes from someone else's approval or validation, but the kind that burns inside you. Like the fusion reactors, I dream of powering a Martian colony. When I started SpaceX, the goal wasn't to impress NASA or outdo Boeing. It was to make humanity multiplanetary, to push the boundaries of what's possible. When you step into this phase of your journey, your goal isn't to win back the person who hurt you or to prove them wrong. It's to build a life so extraordinary, so aligned with your deepest purpose, that their role in your story fades to a distant memory. You're not here to orbit their world anymore. You're here to create your own galaxy. Let's talk about what it means to be unstoppable. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about the relentless drive to keep moving forward no matter what. When Tesla was on the verge of collapse, when we were burning through millions a week with no clear path to profitability, I didn't stop. I worked 100-hour weeks, slept on the factory floor, and poured every ounce of my energy into making it work. You're going to bring that same energy to your life now. Heartbreak tried to knock you off course, but you're still here, still standing, still ready to launch. That resilience, that fire, that refusal to quit, that's what makes you a pioneer. That's what makes you untouchable. This is where you let go of the need for external validation. For too long, you've been conditioned to seek approval from the person who hurt you, from society, from the voice in your head that says you're not enough. But here's the truth. I've learned from pushing the limits of technology and human ambition, the only validation that matters is the one you give yourself. When I launched the Tesla Roadster, I didn't wait for the auto industry to pat me on the back. I knew what we'd built was revolutionary, and that was enough. You need to know the same about yourself. You don't need their text, their call, their apology to feel whole. You're already whole. You're a system of stars, a constellation of strength, a universe of potential. And the moment you realize that, you become unstoppable. Let's get practical. Being a pioneer means living with intention every single day. It's about waking up and asking, how do I make today count? Not for them, not for anyone else, but for you. Maybe it's setting a new personal record at the gym, lifting weights that make you feel like you could move mountains. Maybe it's taking that online course, mastering a skill that opens doors you never thought possible. Maybe it's writing that book, starting that podcast, or pitching that idea that's been burning in your mind. Every choice you make is a step toward your destiny, a signal to the universe that you're not here to play small. You're here to build something epic, something that echoes long after you're gone, like a Tesla speeding through the desert or a starship touching down on Mars. And here's the thing about being unstoppable: it's contagious. When you live with this kind of purpose, you don't just change your own life, you change the lives of everyone around you. Think about the women in your circle, the ones who've watched you navigate this heartbreak. When they see you rise, when they see you build, when they see you become a pioneer, it sparks something in them. It's like Starlink beaming internet to remote corners of the world. Your light reaches places you can't even imagine. You become a beacon, a signal, a reminder that heartbreak isn't the end. It's the beginning of something bigger. And that's the kind of impact I've always chased, whether it's electrifying transportation or colonizing Mars. You're not just healing, you're inspiring a revolution. Now, let's talk about the person who hurt you. By now, they're feeling the weight of their choices. Your silence, your focus, your empire, they've created a void they can't ignore. They might try to come back,